AMD Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X Zen 5 CPU sales off to a slow start, only 50 chips sold at Germany's largest retailer during first week. AMD's Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X Zen 5 inches CPUs are off to a slow start as their sales figures highlight a weak reception from PC builders. AMD's latest Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X Zen 5 inches CPUs just sold 50 units during first week of launch at Germany's largest retailer. Asian retailers highlight low supply but decent value as selling point. The AMD Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X were the first Zen 5 CPUs to hit retail shelves last week. These chips were met with mixed reviews, but I personally highlighted them as a strong addition to the AM5 family, which will only get better as supply and pricing gets better. The CPUs were priced at lower MSRPs than their predecessors at $359 and $279 US, respectively, but it looks like the discounts on current-gen chips from AMD and Intel, especially the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D and the launch of newer AM4X 3D SKUs have made many people hold off Ryzen 9000 purchases at the moment. Over at Mine Factory, the largest retailer in Germany, a market which is very receptive towards AMD launches, has seen a slow start to the sales. The Ryzen 7 9700X only sold 30 units so far while the chip remains in stock, while the Ryzen 5 9600X only managed to sell 20 units, and that too is still in stock. In numbers compiled by Tech Epiphany, you can see that AMD's Ryzen CPUs still amount to the largest number of units sold at the retailer. During the last week, AMD CPUs sold 2,855 units while Intel only managed to sell 430 units at Mine Factory. The best sellers include the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D, which alone managed to sell 950 units, which is impressive given that the second most sold chip, the Ryzen 5 7500F, only managed to sell 180 units. The top-selling Intel CPU is the Core i7-14700K, which sold 50 units, but even that had better sales than the combined sales of the new Zen 5 CPU family. The poor reception to Intel CPUs is a given since the company is facing lots of heat from PC builders due to its ongoing instability fiasco, which has yet to see a proper solution. Moving over to Asian retailers, GDM reports some testimonials from various Japanese shopkeepers who report that they were able to sell off their entire stock of Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X CPUs, owing to balanced performance and pricing. While there was no excitement like before when we saw entire queues forming up late at night in anticipation of the next-gen AMD CPU launch, it is still expected when the Ryzen 9 9950X and Ryzen 9 9900X CPUs hit shelves, as they'll target enthusiasts who want to be the first ones to grab a new part for the PCs. The Ryzen 7 9700X saw slightly better response from customers than the Ryzen 5 9600X CPU. The Ryzen 7 9700X sold out on the first day, both in stores and online. We only had 10 units in stock, but I didn't expect them to be sold out on the first day, so I was a little surprised. They will be restocked the next week, but their popularity is likely to continue. Including the unreleased Ryzen 9 9900X and Ryzen 9 9950X, the Ryzen 7 9700X may be the one with the best balance of specs and price. It seems that many customers thought the same, and the Ryzen 7 9700X was sold out by the afternoon. I was wondering how the Ryzen 9000 series would do, but as expected, it sold well on the first day of sales. Although it was mostly the Ryzen 7 9700X, I think it's fair to say that it's off to a good start. The higher-end Ryzen 9 series is not available, but there is no excitement like before, with long queues before the store opens. The Ryzen 7 9700X has been selling quietly since the morning. Although it is expensive, the Ryzen 9 9950X, expected to be around 120,000 yen, is also likely to sell well in the first installment. The Ryzen 9000 Series X 3D that I am personally planning to purchase is probably my favorite. I'm sure there are many people waiting for it. I think it will be released within the year, but I have a feeling it will sell like hotcakes. Now that the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D, which has excellent gaming performance, is available at a great price, many users are wondering whether to buy it or the Ryzen 9000 series. If you are mainly using it for gaming, you should buy the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D now or wait for the Ryzen 9000 Series X 3D. The Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D, which has dropped in price, is popular, but the distributor stock is out. Since there is only so-called distribution stock, it may disappear from the market temporarily in the future. The price is also rising, so if you want it, you'd better buy it early. The higher-end Ryzen 9 9900X and Ryzen 9 9950X are likely not available for release this week. They are likely to arrive next week after the Open holiday, so those who want them will have to be patient a little longer. It is also mentioned that retailers only had 1020 CPUs in stock, which could be due to the recent recall. AMD's Ryzen 9000s and 5-inch CPUs had to be recalled due to last-minute quality checks, and everyone, including reviewers, was provided a fresh new batch of chips. This could have affected the supply slightly, but the retailers did state that the Zen 5 CPUs will be restocked this week, so things will go smoothly in the next couple of days. Several stores in Europe are yet to receive their first batch of Zen 5 CPUs too. We will see how AMD's Ryzen 7 9700X and Ryzen 5 9600X CPUs fare in the months ahead, but it looks like even shopkeepers are waiting for the Ryzen 9000 by 3D launch, which are expected to sell like hotcakes, just like the 5800 by 3D and the 7800 by 3D chips. For now, the Ryzen 7 7800 by 3D keeps on selling like crazy at major retailers around the globe. AMD will also launch its Ryzen 9 9950X and Ryzen 9 9900X CPUs in retail tomorrow.